Y'all, welcome to the Silver Saloon. I'm Silver Stallion. So today I'm going to be reading an article with you guys, learning a little bit about the half dollars. So this article is called "The Earliest Kennedy Halves" by Mark Benvenuto. So it says collectors of the United States coins often focus on silver since it's both a precious metal and one that is far less costly than gold. In many cases, we further focus ourselves on some classic series such as Morgan and Peace dollars or Walking Liberty and Franklin half dollars. The buzz about such coins, specifically about the high-end mint state pieces, never seems to go away completely. Perhaps of that, several of these series end up proverbial on the back burner. One that might qualify in this category is the silver Kennedy half dollar issued from 1964 to 1970. And I actually brought you guys an example. So this is one that I had, or have. What side is this camera? Oh, here we go. 1964 Kennedy half. I need to show you a butte. This is 90% silver. I think the designer is Gilroy Roberts. On the obverse, we have the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. And on the reverse, the emblematic American eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. Onward. Almost all collectors know that for the very first year of issue, the Kennedy half dollar was made the same standard of silver as the other half dollars that came before it, well back into the 19th century. The 90% silver formula probably seemed at the time to never be ending, but the very next year, a good deal of precious metals was eliminated, and by 1971, it was entirely gone. So let's take a look at the 1964, then, and the next 6 years. The 1964, the change in the design that gave us the Kennedy half dollar was the result of an assassination that still resonates with older Americans today. People knew where they were when they heard that the president had been shot. Right after this tragedy, the Kennedy half dollar was unveiled as a way to honor the man who had represented so much hope for the nation. Perhaps because it was a tangible reminder of a horrible event, lots of people throughout the country appear to have kept one or more of these 50-cent pieces. Today, that tends to translate into MS-65 price tags that are amazingly inexpensive. The MS-65 seems to be the jumping off point or baseline point for the prices, since it is the MS-67 grade that commands significant outlay. And I think that's just obviously relevant, based off of what happened recently with the former president assassination attempt. We'll get to the proofs in a moment, but we'll say right now that something like the PF65 is much, much more attractive when it comes to the cost than the PF67 or higher. And so speaking of the other ones, here's a 1967. Basically looks identical. Except that one is 40% silver. And then the other one that we have here is the Ben Franklin on the front, on the obverse, and on the reverse, the Liberty Bell, symbolizing again strength and freedom. I really do like these coins. And again, this is 90% silver. And so 1965 to 1970, the diminished silver. The United States was mandated to remove the silver from our dimes and quarters and did so in 1965. Curiously, that same year, the half dollar suffered a reduction, yet not an elimination, of its silver. In 1965, the still new Kennedy half dollar evolved to a rather odd clad composition of an outer layer of 80% silver and 20% copper, with an inner layer of 20.9% silver and 79.1% copper. The end result is a series of half dollars containing 0.1479 ounces of the precious metal. When silver trades at $23 per ounce, this computes to $3.40 worth of it in each of these halves. Because there is silver in these halves, there is always going to be at least that value to them. But then we seem to have a different jumping off point when compared to the 1964. Now it appears that from the prices of the MS63 examples versus those of MS65, we have our big difference. The jump seems rather dramatic from our $6 from the lower of the two grades to about $40 for the upper. We're hardly trying to run down the higher grade Kennedys here, since anything in the level of MS65 is going to be impressive looking with a wealth of detail. But it's not as if the MS63 is some sort of ugly duckling either, and it comes with a truly unbeatable price. Next is the proofs. Plenty of collectors are aware that in 1965, as well as 1966 and 1967, the United States Mint did not produce any proof sets. Rather, what are called special mint sets, SMS, were made, which pretty much fulfilled the same function. Today, several of the standard references list these MSS pieces right alongside the proofs. Whether we call them through the specially made Kennedy halves dated 1965 to 1970, also have a jumping off or baseline point. Routinely, that point seems to be the PF65 level. Let's see, for these reduced silver Kennedy half dollars, the PF65 represents something of a bargain basement set of price tags. In this grade, each costs about $9 to $12. If we slide up to the coins of the PF67, the ride moves to about double the baseline. And if we opt for the super high grades, such as PF68DC, with DC meaning, of course, deep cameo, the prices can really jump. And while this makes us wonder who is out there gunning for the Kennedy half dollars in grades this high, it can also make us realize how much of a bargain that mid-grade proof really is. And so let's see, I have one more example here for you guys. This is one you guys will see in my first video, the Walking Liberty. Again, 90%. On the obverse, we have Liberty in stride, doing her thing, catwalk. Again, symbolizing progress in the nation's journey towards freedom and enlightenment. And then on the back, again, we have the beautiful eagle with its unfurled wings, representing strength and resilience. America. I really got to figure out this light situation. All right, and then the last paragraph here says, all things considered. The Kennedy half dollars have definitely become a long series of big silver or silver-looking coins. Having now been issued for 60 years, the fact that we don't see them this much in everyday change may keep them out of any limelight when it comes to collectors, as well as the fact that the design is not yet considered classic as Franklin or Walking Liberty half designs are, may be a reason people don't look at this series as much. But we have just seen that when it comes to the early dates that do contain some silver, these are bargains in just about every year of issue. The trick is finding the right grade of mint state. Then I have one more thing to show you guys here, and I'll try to see if I could get this article for you guys maybe on the side here while I'm talking or something like that, so you don't have to just stare at space. I totally forgot I had this. I don't even remember when I got it, to be honest. But this is a 50th anniversary Kennedy half dollar uncirculated coin set. I'll let you guys read that. Well, actually, I've been reading this whole time. Might as well do a little bit more. So it says the 50th anniversary Kennedy half dollar uncirculated coin set commemorates the 1964 release of this iconic coin minted in honor of the assassinated president. After the tragic assassination of the president, John F. Kennedy, on November 22nd, 1963, newly installed President Lyndon Johnson quickly submitted the necessary bill to Congress to authorize a redesign of the half dollar to honor the fallen president. The Kennedy half dollar designs were prepared by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts, obverse, and his prestige Frank Grasparo, reverse. During the design process, Mrs. Jacqueline Kennedy and Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy examined the trial strike of the obverse design and provided suggestions for the reverse. Once the designs were complete, the production scheduled simultaneous striking ceremonies were held at both Philadelphia and Denver facilities on February 11th, 1964, which the coins released into circulations a few weeks later. If you take this out, these things are beauties. And you know, I'm gonna figure out this light situation, guys, I swear. Because it's bothering me, I know it has to be bothering you. And so these are actually not silver. Let's see here. So these are 8.33% nickel, balanced copper. But still, beautiful coin. And that is all I have for you guys today. Again, thank you for coming to the Silver Saloon. Thank you for joining me. Again, I'm Silver Stallion. If you like the channel, if you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment. If you like it, if you don't like it, let me know either way. Thank you. I'll see you on the next one.